Exclusive contracted novel by Feilu Novel Network. A sniper rifle, starting from the 7th Interlude Company Changjin Lake, Shuimen Bridge, 800, Sniper, Diamond River, Operation Red Sea, Wandering Earth, Wolf Warrior Ye Qing crossed the world of Changjin Lake and became the 7th Interlude Company, the 678th Warrior. Open the movie and television travel system, and receive rewards for your achievements. Starting with a domestically produced heavy sniper rifle, Ye Qing embarked on a legendary journey. If there is a miracle, it must be a medium red. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. 1 Snipers from Steel 7th Company crossed to Changjin Lake. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. 1 Snipers from Steel 7th Company crossed to Changjin Lake. The M99 semi-automatic sniper rifle has a total length of 1,480 mm, an empty weight of 12 kg, an effective range of 1500 m, and a bullet caliber of 12.7 mm. Remember, as a sniper, there is only one chance to shoot, and one shot is enough to kill. Within the Steel 7th Company shooting range, which has a glorious history of warfare. A sniper holding an M99 semi-automatic sniper rifle, lying motionless in a stinky ditch. Rotten meat, sewage, a sky full of flies and mosquitoes. The responsibility of a sniper is to use the sharpest knives of a team, and a qualified sniper can withstand a platoon or company. The special trainer in military uniform shouted loudly. Looking at the sniper in the stinky ditch who remained motionless for 8 hours, the special trainer smiled with satisfaction. Since Steel 7th Company has arrived, remember one sentence. The special trainer looked at the flag of the 7th Company and shouted with firm eyes. Steel 7th Company is a heroic company, and we must be the sharpest knife in our country. We must never back down in the face of any difficulties. Ye Qing lay in the foul-smelling ditch, his eyes burning. It has been half a year since we fell from an ordinary platoon to the Steel 7th Platoon that we still aspire to. Due to Ye Qing's outstanding design talent, he was heavily trained by the Steel 7th Company after entering the company. A special training officer was also transferred from the Special Forces. In the past 6 months since the arrival of the special trainers, Ye Qing has undergone devilish training, but no matter how hard or tiring it is, Ye Qing has no intention of retreating. Because this is Steel 7th Company. It is the Steel 7th Company, which was awarded the title of Hero Company by countless predecessors who exchanged their lives and full of passion. Special trainer, it's almost time for dinner. The special operations officer looked at the time and it was indeed dinner time. You look at him, finished training in 4 hours. Yes. Ye Qing remained unmoved, his right eye pressed against the scope, staring intently at the red heart at the target. I don't know why, but suddenly my eyes began to fantasize. Subsequently, he lost consciousness. Brother, is this your PLA uniform? Why does it look strange? What kind of powerful gun is this? Stop messing around. Put it down. Stingy, you're not playing with it. Can't I play with this? Ye Qing regained consciousness. Listening to an accent that doesn't belong to the north, my muscles instantly tighten. Feeling a slight shake on the ground beneath her, Ye Qing immediately guessed that she might be on a ship. Dad, Mom, you two come over and stay away from this guy. Parents. Ye Qing realized that there were no restrictions on her body, and when she opened her eyes, she quickly collected all the useful information around her in her mind. A pair of elderly people with gray hair, a half-year-old child, and an adult. Fishing boats. Due to the rush of time, Ye Qing only felt that these few people were wearing strange clothes and didn't think much. Don't move. The adult man in khaki clothes let out a growl. But Ye Qing wouldn't listen to him. Pull the recently half-aged child down in front of him, crouch down and hide behind him, holding his hands tightly against his throat. The man in the earthy yellow clothes reached out from his waist and pointed a gun called a mirror box at Ye Qing. Wu Qianli looked nervous and dared not provoke the strange person in front of him. "Brother, don't be nervous. Look, you're safe." When Ye Qing saw the face of the man in the earthy yellow clothes clearly, he was immediately confused. Wu 5,000 miles. Turning the head of the half-aged child who was trembling with fear, it turned out to be 50,000 miles away. Time traveled. A moment later, Ye Qing and Wu Qianli's family sat around the dinner table. "Brother, do you say you're a soldier?" Wu Qianli took a sip of the wine and handed the bottle to Ye Qing. "Which unit is it from? I haven't seen these uniforms and weapons before." Ye Qing blocked the wine bottle. Wu Qianli was not angry either, turning his head to look at the exaggerated long gun next to him. "Steel 7th Company Sniper." "Yo-ho. What's the unit number?" "I'm also from the 7th Company, and our company is the 7th Interpenetrating Company." "Have you heard of it?" Ye Qing didn't know what to say either. "I just heard that Steel 7th Company is your 7th Interlacing Company." "Okay, I got separated from the troops during the mission, right? This weapon looks like American equipment, from the 2nd Field Army, right?" Wu Qianli smiled and said. "The war has ended, but the Japanese have left behind many troops, as well as some bandits who have taken over the mountains as kings. Major field armies have deployed a considerable number of troops to solve this problem." Wu Qianli was preconceived and imagined Ye Qing as this part. "Hey, big brother, what kind of gun are you?" At this moment, Wu Wanli's attention was all on Ye Qing's sniper rifle, which was so rare that he almost drooled. "Sniper rifle. Brother, what is a sniper rifle?" Wu Qianli's eyes lit up and he slammed Ye Qing's shoulder hard. "Okay, sniper. I can't tell," he said. "Brother, what is a sniper?" Wu Wanli is like a curious baby. As long as it is related to war, it can always arouse his curiosity. He's the sharpshooter, with a distance of 100 or 200 meters, bang. One shot can take down the high-ranking officials of the Japanese. So powerful. "Brother, how many Japanese officials have you killed?" Wu Qianli rubbed his head with indulgence and said, "Our big brother killed a lot. At that time, I was still a new recruit and focused on killing Japanese soldiers." Ye Qing did not participate in the fight between the two brothers. Because several mechanically synthesized sounds suddenly echoed continuously in his mind. Ding! The host has completed the film and television series Journey, and the Soldier King system has officially started binding. Name: Ye Qing. Speed 5, maximum limit for ordinary people is 5, endurance 5, the upper limit for ordinary people is 5, physical fitness 5, upper limit for ordinary people is 5, shooting accuracy 3, upper limit for elite warriors is 5, eye power 5, maximum limit for elite warriors is 5, new task trigger. Add the 7th interlude before entering the court. Task completion reward: 50 12.7mm bullets, 1 attribute point. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. 2 7th Company Military Song. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. 2 7th Company Military Song. Since understanding her situation, Ye Qing walked to the bow of the ship with a sniper rifle in his arms and carefully wiped it with his clothes. The command is coming soon. Ye Qing tried not to disturb Wu Qianli's reunion with his family. After the two elderly people fell asleep, Wu Qianli stood next to Ye Qing with his pockets inserted. Brother, aren't you in a hurry to return to the team? 2 years ago, I died in battle. I carried my gun and searched the mountains and fields for the lonely devils, without any troops. Ye Qing found an excuse for herself. Sure, brother, just use this big gun. Ye Qing nodded. How many meters can this thing reach? Do you have this number? Looking at the 5 fingers gesturing from Wu Qianli, Ye Qing suddenly smiled. It's more like having these 3.5 of you. 3.5. Wu Qianli gestured for half a day. 3.5, isn't that 17,800 meters? Blow it off, you're still 3.5, even mortars can't hit that far, cut it. Wu Qianli shook his hand. Ye Qing also did not explain, although the maximum shooting range of this gun with guaranteed accuracy is 1,800 meters. But if it's among top snipers, it's not impossible to drill from 2,000 meters to 2,500 meters, but the accuracy may be slightly lower. Ah, does your Steel 7th Company have a military song? I'll tell you, before I come back, I entrusted my instructor to compose a military song for the 7th interlude. Wu Qianli was born to be a soldier. I couldn't say much to my parents in the shipyard just now, but when it comes to Ye Qing, he really talks endlessly. 3 sentences cannot be separated from the army. Wu Qianli spread out a crumpled piece of paper, with some words written crookedly on it. But when Ye Qing saw the words above, a melody that is already in blood, blurted out. A thunderbolt and a sword, a group of fierce tigers in the 7th Company, the will of steel, the Han of steel, iron blood serves as a national protection home, under the sound of killing, break the enemy's courage, the legend of victory in 100 battles, attack must be overcome, defend must be firm, step through the bones and sing the triumph. Wu Qianli grabbed Ye Qing with excitement and said, "Oh my, brother, are you actually a soldier or a singer? It sounds great. There's a taste, that's right." Ye Qing remained silent. Isn't this the song of Steel 7th Company? Just now, I didn't pay attention, actually sang it directly with the melody. It's a pity that old Mei has recovered and returned to his hometown, or I will sing it to his face. Come on, brother, sing it again and I'll learn it. Wu Qianli sat cross-legged to the side. Brother, what is a military song? What kind of thing did ye sing just now? He didn't dare to sing it beautifully. Wu Wanli sat behind the two with a disdainful expression on his face. Wanli, if you join the army in the future, you will know. Military songs are like the soul of a company, the essence and spirit. 5,000 miles of tenderness and 5,000 miles of head. In the future, you won't have to fight anymore when you join the army. You probably won't be able to go to the battlefield for the rest of your life. Wu Wanli knocked off his second brother's hand. Brother, how did you sing the first line? After about half an hour, when Wu Wanli mastered the melody, he stood up and stretched lazily. Oh, you haven't sung your company's military song yet. Wu Wanli suddenly said. Ye Qing was taken aback and looked at the full moon in the sky, saying faintly. I just finished singing, didn't I? Dexing, I warn you that this is our 7th interlaced military song. If you dare to snatch it, don't blame me for being impolite. This thing is even more expensive than my wife's. Wu Wanli regarded this military song as his lifeline. Pointing back to the platoon, teaching the group of brats in the team. Tomorrow, don't leave either. After I finish my vacation, come back to the company with me and I'll help you find the troops. Line. Ye Qing's answer was straightforward. Where else is there tomorrow? The order from the headquarters of the 9th Corps is about to arrive. 1,000,000 soldiers entering the court is a true human purgatory. Listening to the sound of the two brothers fighting and frolicking in the dock, Ye Qing quietly looked up and admired the night sky. Not long ago. The chaotic sound of horse hooves transmitted to Ye Qing's ears from far to near. Looking towards the source of the sound, a bright torch broke through the coast and quickly rushed towards the riverbank. The headquarters of the 9th Corps orders that everyone has it, who is 5,000 miles. The roar is particularly loud on a quiet night. Wu Qianli, who couldn't bear to play around, immediately rushed out of the shipyard. Who is 5,000 miles? Arrive. Wu Qianli replied loudly. In case of emergency, stop visiting and return at dawn. Yes. With a positive response from Wu Qianli, the communicator holding a torch quickly turned his horse head and left. Ye Qing turned her head and glanced at Wu Wanli, who was sneaking a peek. I also stood up. Without hesitation, Wu Qianli rushed into the dock to pack his luggage. Looking at his parents with enthusiastic eyes, Wu Qianli's body stiffened and forced him into the shipyard. Ye Qing stood silently at the bow of the ship. When a bright light tore through the darkness on the horizon, Wu Qianli, who had been organized, was bidding farewell to his family. I will come back at the beginning of spring and build a house for you as soon as I come back. Wu Qianli smiled at his parents. On the side, Wu Wanli placed his hands in doli, looking unhappy. But military orders are like mountains. Wu Qianli chuckled lightly and turned around to step onto the small boat. Wu Wanli quickly chased after him and said, "Brother, I want to go to war with you." Wu Qianli threw down his luggage and looked at his only brother with complexity. Big brother said, "We've fought all the battles we should have fought and won't let you fight." After speaking, use your hands to knead Wu Wanli into buns and pull them. Go back. Hey brother, I'm going to war and I don't have time to find troops for you. Wu Wanli shouted to Ye Qing on the small boat. I'm just going to war. Anyway, the troops are gone. I'll join your company and work as a sniper for you. Ye Qing won't leave. Really? How many bullets do you have left in your gun? 5,000 miles of hard work. Dozens of rounds. Okay, welcome to the 7th interlude. The small boat and fishing boat were getting farther and farther away. Looking at the complex faces of the family of 3 on the boat, the quiet Ye Qing suddenly shouted. Grandpa, Auntie, don't worry. I will definitely take Wu Qianli safely home. Definitely. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. 3 5-star General, MacArthur. You are listening at novelfull.audio. 3 5-star General, MacArthur. At this moment, war mobilization is being carried out nationwide. All active soldiers, quickly return to their ranks. Under the leadership of the legendary General MacArthur, a 5-star general, the U.S. military has landed with live ammunition on Moon Island in Incheon, South Korea. The powerful military power instantly changed the situation of the North Korean Civil War. Under the cover of countless tanks and planes, it was not long before the North Korean army was pushed to a dead end. But the U.S. military should not have offended a awakened lion. Surprisingly, American planes crossed the border between China and North Korea and dropped several bombs on Chinese territory, causing heavy casualties among border residents. 50 years, September 15. MacArthur is currently conducting pre-war mobilization. Throughout the entire Moon Island beach, there are countless well-equipped U.S. troops, including the strongest on the surface, the U.S. Marine 1st Division, and the U.S. Army Infantry 7th Division .31 ST Infantry Regiment, also known as the Polar Bear Regiment. The tank troops that could not be seen at a glance were as orderly as soldiers waiting to be reviewed. MacArthur stood on the podium. Looking down at the countless American soldiers and journalists below, I loudly assured them. We will reclaim Seoul and unify the Korean peninsula. I assure you that victory will soon be achieved in this war. If everything goes smoothly, it will end before Thanksgiving. November 24th every year is a major holiday in the West, Thanksgiving. That is to say, MacArthur believed that in just over 2 months, the U.S. military could achieve comprehensive victory on the Korean peninsula. Even if the Chinese army makes a decision to rush to support the Korean army. General MacArthur, who had never suffered a defeat in his life, still believed that the U.S. military's readiness to end the war before Thanksgiving could not be changed. Because the U.S. military not only has the most powerful army in the world in terms of combat effectiveness. There is also the strongest air force and the strongest navy. Regardless of which army in China and North Korea, in MacArthur's eyes, it was just a group of miscellaneous troops carrying burning sticks. General. Does what you said about unifying the Korean peninsula mean that the U.S. military will cross the 38th parallel? Watching the reporter ask questions, MacArthur said without hesitation. If this is beneficial for North Korea and the world, God will lead us forward. A journalist asked a question. Are you so confident, General? Have you underestimated Chow? They are backed by Su and Zhong. MacArthur had a confident chest. I will never underestimate anyone again. I have outstanding military achievements, an excellent Marine First Division, and the world's most outstanding generals and soldiers. I believe we will achieve victory. At this point, a war destined to be recorded in history has also begun. China quickly decided to gather a large army and rush to the Korean battlefield. Ye Qing also followed Wu Qianli to the assembly point of the corps. Not bad, it looks good in our formal military uniform. Wu Qianli turned around to Ye Qing, who had changed into a khaki military uniform. We will have an entry ceremony for the 7th Company, and I will hold it for you when everyone returns. Ye Qing is not in a hurry either. Pick up the sniper rifle wrapped in a rifle. We also have a sharpshooter in our 7th Company. When the time comes, you two should compare and see who can take down more American troops. After speaking, Wu Qianli began to lightly tap the weapons and ammunition he wanted to collect. How much is 3 or 8? A total of 16. Sten 99. It's all there, it's all there. Wu Qianli patted his company's soldiers and said, move back to the company. At this moment, a soldier from the 7th Company quickly ran over and shouted while running. Captain, Yu Congrong has engaged in a confrontation with someone. What? Wu Qianli took a photo of Ye Qing and quickly walked over with a few soldiers. With whom? From the artillery camp. A group of people walked so fast that they didn't even notice a young man shaving his hair on the roadside. Ye Qing, who was walking at the end, stopped in her tracks. 50,000 miles, good kid. He patted Wu Wanli's shoulder hard, and Ye Qing grinned. Brother Yi, when will the team start? Wu Wanli was like a bird seeing the sky for the first time, with excitement and curiosity written all over his body. We're about to enlist, hurry up. How do I have to enlist? Ye Qing looked around and whispered in her ear as she approached Wu Wanli. Do you see that over there? The person in the car must be a high-ranking official. Just say that you are the younger brother of Captain Wu and are going to defend our country. Is this okay? Ye Gu, you can't lie to me, can you? Stinky kid, hurry up, the team is starting to turn around. It's too late for you to enlist. Okay. Ye Qing vigorously patted Wu Wanli's shoulder and chased towards Wu Qianli. Wait for Ye Qing to run into the courtyard. Wu Qianli was chatting with a person with a gruesome expression. You have 11 guns in your artillery battalion, 8 of which were captured by our 7th Company. You are raised by us. As soon as these words were spoken, the soldiers of the 7th Company loudly agreed. Yang, the commander of the artillery camp, compared to Big Thumb. Your 7th Company is truly remarkable, with so many casualties. It's truly honorable. As soon as these words were spoken, many people's faces in the 7th row changed. Lei Gong, with grey temples and a beard on his face, squeezed to the front with an unpleasant expression. Can you speak human language? Ye Qing stood on the side holding a sniper rifle, carefully scrutinizing every familiar face. Lei Gong, Yang Yingchang, Pingyi, Yu Congrong. He secretly made up his mind. This time, no one is allowed to die. I will definitely bring you back safely. 5,000 miles. What's going on? A strong reprimand sounded, and a senior in his 40s crossed his waist and glared fiercely at the two groups. Report. Our 7th Company is going to have a celebration with the artillery battalion. Nonsense. The commander is here, hurry up and line up. The teacher pointed at Wu Qianli and Yang Yingchang with his hand, warning them not to act recklessly. Qianli, are we even newcomers? Lei Gong bumped Wu Qianli's shoulder and pouted at Ye Qing. Wu Qianli nodded. I picked it up on the roadside, it seems to be from the second field. I'm not planning to go back, but I want to follow and fight against the US military. Can you play bazooka? Why was it a bit thin before? Pingy also joined in. That's a sniper rifle, it seems to be American equipment. Pingy, you are the top marksman in our company. Don't let newcomers steal the limelight. Oh my God, the commander is here. Hurry up and line up, hurry up. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. 4 million troops, advance to North Korea. You are listening at novel full.audio. 4 million troops, advance to North Korea. The commander walked up to Wu Qianli and glanced at the soldiers behind him. Report to the commander, I am the commander of the 7th Interlude Company, 5,000 miles away. The commander carried his hand over. I know you, the combat hero of our 9th Corps. Your 7th Company is very famous, known as the 7th Interpenetrating Company. Originally, the Corps Committee was going to issue a flag to your 7th Company. I think we'll have to wait until after the war, yes. The commander smiled and waved his hand as he walked onto the high platform. His eyes were sharp and his aura was high. Comrades. Today, I encountered a little ghost here, asking your division commander to approve his enlistment. The commander asked him, why did you join the army? He said, my dad said we also divided the land between his family, but now someone wants to take him back. We can't agree to this, that's the reason. Speaking of which, there was a solemn and angry mood in the courtyard. We have just achieved national victory, and the benches under our buttocks are not yet covered in heat. The American imperialism, who is riding on horses, is launching a war in North Korea to burn down our country. What should we do? Fight. 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 Ye Qing roared along with the soldiers. Strike. By the way, the upper command is for our 9th Army Group to head north. Resist US aggression and aid Korea, protect our country. As the words fell, a strong sense of war surged into the sky. The soldiers of the 9th Army Group shouted with all their might and anger. Resist US aggression and aid Korea. Defend our country. Resist US aggression and aid Korea. Defend our country. Move forward. Move forward. Move forward. Our team is facing the sun. The cold wind cannot dispel the scorching war spirit, and a grand chorus of the People's Liberation Army march resounds loudly. Ye Qing found it difficult to contain her excited emotions. There were even tears at the corners of the eyes. Millions of soldiers entered the court, and most of them would die on the battlefield, but no soldier retreated. Because they have the highest faith. Has the most steadfast philosophy. Ye Qing was also immersed in this beautiful and magnificent emotion, completely forgetting her identity, truly making herself a member of the 7th Company. Lei Gong, lead someone to count the weapons and ammunition, and we will start immediately. If it's not enough, quickly go find the military supplies department to make up for it. Lei Gong nodded and called on 2 soldiers to busy counting weapons and equipment. Where are the people from Yu Congrong? Here it is, Captain. What instructions? Count the number of people and see if there are any missing ones. By the way, that Ye Qing is carrying a big gun, our company's new recruits. After glancing at Ye Qing, Yu Congrong turned his head and began to line up. 5,000 miles. Upon hearing the teacher's voice, Wu Qianli quickly turned around and saluted. You can see Wu Wanli wearing a khaki military uniform behind the division commander, and his face instantly changed. This is what the commander said about the little ghost. He said he is the younger brother of Qianli, and I will hand him over to your 7th company now. The teacher's expression is not very attractive. The Lao Wu family has only 3 children in total. Sacrificed 1, now we are about to enter court again, and this last seedling will also go to the battlefield. He really can't bear to be ruthless. Joining the army is not a joke. If this child says he wants to join the army in front of the commander, then he is a member of the People's Liberation Army. 5,000 miles suppressed the anger. When the teacher left, he pulled 50,000 li into a alley. Who asked you to come? How did you come? Wu Wanli twisted his shoulders. I secretly followed you and Brother Yi. I want to join the army and go to war. How did you find the teacher? What Brother Yi told me is that the person sitting in the car must be a high-ranking official. Ye Qing. Thanks to me treating him like a brother, what is he doing when he steps on a horse? Do parents know? I don't know. Wu Qianli suddenly exploded, pushing away Wu Qianli without returning and walking out of the alley. Get lost. Wu Wanli stood unsteadily in place, neither walking nor following up. Within 3 seconds, Wu Qianli once again appears at the entrance of the alley. Looking at the stubborn little brother, he reluctantly waved his hand. Wu Wanli ran over with great joy. The 9th Corps set off directly on the same day and rushed towards the nearby train station. To enter North Korea, one must first take a train to the northeast. Make some adjustments in northeast China. Northeast China is not as good as the south. When entering Korea wearing military uniforms, soldiers would freeze to death if the battle did not start. Ye Qing, how could you ask my younger brother to stop the car? It's not thoughtful enough. Ye Qing's face remained calm. You don't understand your brother's personality. I won't tell him. Do you think he can't think of this trick? 5,000 miles are suffocating. That's right, I really can't stop this stinky kid, just like his big brother and me, he's a brain twister. The Pingyi River behind Ye Qing was carrying a sniper rifle on his back all the way. I am very curious in my heart. Being quiet and reserved, Pingyi didn't ask any questions. The 9th Corps was launched during the day and took a whole day to arrive at the nearby assembly point. Along the way, everything was a majestic earthy yellow. By the time we arrived at the train assembly point, it was already dark. 7 companies finally arrived at their designated location on time. Each platoon should hurry up to board the goods and gather at the designated location to count the number of people. Busy figures are everywhere. Whenever a platoon arrives, it is accompanied by deafening slogans. And it's not far away. A soldier glared at his bicycle and was moving rapidly towards the gathering place. Qianli, have you sent a new instructor from your superiors? As he stepped in place at the gathering point, Lei Gong slowly moved from behind to 5,000 miles behind. I haven't returned for 5,000 miles. Not yet, it's too late. I'll react with you when I enter the court. Lei Gong remained silent. A company must have an instructor. Not only does leadership work need to be shared, but more importantly, the significance represented by the instructor is too important. Ye Qing, you know how to write songs, but at first glance you're a cultured person. No, you can't do it. Can you be our platoon's instructor? 5,000 miles, half true and half false. But to everyone's surprise, Ye Qing shook her head and said, 7 companies have instructors, it's not my turn. Are you talking about Meisheng? I guess I'll be holding my wife on the bed now. It's not easy to recover, so don't go through this muddy water. Yu Congrong and Lei Gong both laughed along. P.S. On the first day of the new book, kneel down for data. If anyone reads, please feed some data. The first day data of the new book is really important. Kneeling and begging Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. 5 Meisheng returns to the team. Soft-hearted Yu Congrong. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. 5 Meisheng returns to the team. Soft-hearted Yu Congrong. 3 companies were supposed to have 131 people, but in reality there were 130 people, and the rest were on their way back. The artillery camp should have 258 people, but in reality it has 221 people. The team is about to board the train, and each platoon is starting to count the number of people. After Captain Yang finishes, raise your chest and report loudly. The 7th interlude should reach 158 people. However, just as Wu Qianli was about to continue reporting, a man on a bicycle in the distance shouted loudly. Report. Instructor Meisheng from the 7th interlude company returns to the team. Hear familiar shouts. This time, Wu Qianli's chest was even more confident. The 7th interlude should have reached 158 people, but it actually reached 158 people. 7 consecutive elderly people secretly turned their heads. Meisheng gasped for breath, stopped her bike and looked towards Wu Qianli. Listed. Yes. Wu Qianli looked arrogantly at the neighboring Captain Yang, who compared him to Big Thumb. After completing the reorganization of each platoon, they began to repair and prepare to board the vehicle in place. You're discharged from the military, what are you doing back here? Wu Qianli looked at Meisheng with a smile. I'm afraid some people may not feel at ease. As soon as I arrived at home, I saw the newspaper. Fortunately, I haven't completed the discharge procedures yet. Meisheng pointed to Yu Congrong, who was riding a bicycle. I rode my bike back for 12 hours, you have to rub my legs when I get on the bike. Just as he finished speaking, Meisheng caught a glimpse of Ye Qing holding something. That person is from our 7th company. Ye Qing, originally from the 2nd field, it's estimated that the bandit suppression and the troops have broken up, and they said they want to join us in attacking the US military in North Korea. Wu Qianli pointed to the sniper rifle wrapped in cloth in Ye Qing's arms. Sniper, you haven't even seen that guy in your hand, pure American equipment. Meisheng raised her eyebrows. Sniper. This is here to grab the position of our Pingy Divine gunslinger. How many bullets are there in that gun? If we make good use of it and focus on firing some firepower points, our 7th company's attack can be twice as effective with half the effort. He said dozens, I don't know the specifics. Feeling the gaze of Meisheng and Wu Qianli, Ye Qing smiled kindly. 7 consecutive spiritual pillars have also arrived. Everyone has it. Everyone gets on board, drive in and out. Accompanied by the commander's orders. Each platoon began boarding in an orderly manner. Who saw 50,000 miles? Where are the people? Wu Qianli was shocked to find that Wu Wanli was not in the queue and looked around anxiously. Where is it? Ye Qing pointed to the distant watchtower. He is truly a sniper, and his gaze is truly impressive. Wu Qianli dropped a sentence and rushed towards the watchtower. Before the flying fire started, Wu Qianli finally pulled Wu Wanli to catch up. Wheezing, accompanied by the buzz of fame, the train loaded with North Korean People's Liberation Army slowly began to start. Standing at the forefront of the carriage, Ye Qing looked at the soldiers bowing to them by the railway track and naturally returned a military salute. The teacher looked at this train with mixed emotions in his heart. They are all good children and soldiers of our motherland. I don't know how many more people will come back once we go. The headquarters staff sighed. The words of our superiors make sense. If we fight with one punch, we won't have 100 punches. Our generation is going to fight all the wars we say we can fight, so that our descendants can enjoy peace. The commander and staff are heading towards the direction of the train in the distance. I straightened my military uniform. A solemn salute. The train, loaded with the 9th Corps, headed north and continued towards the border between China and North Korea after being reorganized in Lu. Ye Qing was resting in bed, while Yu Congrong squatted beside him, staring at the long cloth. "Brother, what's your cloth bag?" The platoon leader said. "It's a sniper rifle, is it true?" "Let's see." "I'm about to go get Ye Qing's sniper rifle with just a few words. But who can bear to think?" Before his hand could touch the step bar, Ye Qing's big hand was tightly bound to Yu Congrong's wrist. They are all soldiers, and guns cannot be touched randomly. Yu Congrong tried hard to shake off his imprisoned hand, but failed several times in a row. "So I changed my hand and touched it again. Ye Qing is also a soldier. Of course it's clear. Veterans like to weigh up new recruits and deliberately seek excitement. This thing was not originally malicious. This long journey is just for fun and to see what the new recruits are up to." Yu Congrong didn't even react. Ye Qing, like a cheetah, quickly bounced up and writhed in the air. Put on a beautiful cross was completed in an instant, leaving Yu Congrong without any resistance ability. Lei Gong's eyes lit up. "Beautiful and skilled, Yu Congrong has fallen this time, ha ha ha." The soldiers around were also laughing incessantly. Sensing that Yu Congrong wanted to move, Ye Qing gave a cold warning. "Don't move, if you move around, your elbow will break." Song. Song. "Brother, I took it. I'm almost choking." Cough. Yu Congrong's face turned red from being suppressed. After releasing Yu Congrong, this guy squatted on the ground and coughed for a while before regaining his strength. Otherwise, soldiers have a simple mindset. The first thing Yu Congrong did when he got up was to hug Ye Qing's shoulder and say, "Remember, I can still cover this guy from now on, and no one is allowed to touch him." "Come on, it's not certain who's covering who." "That's right, you weren't like that just now. Yu Congrong, it seems like what you said earlier was subdued." I'm about to be strangled." Ha ha ha. The narrow carriage was filled with mockery and laughter. Yu Congrong didn't take it seriously and smiled as he hammered Ye Qing's shoulder. "You wait, next time you must beg for mercy from me." "No problem." Ye Qing was already a soldier and quickly assimilated into this environment. Even to say, it's like a fish in water. But Wu Wanli, who had just joined the military, didn't have Ye Qing these 2 times. Carrying a backpack and inserting hands. A face full of dissatisfaction and dissatisfaction. Wu Qianli pushed away Yu Congrong and Ye Qing and walked to Lei Gong's side. "That new recruit belongs to the artillery platoon and will be registered later. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. 6 Entrance Ceremony, The Flame of Inheritance. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. 6 Entrance Ceremony, The Flame of Inheritance. Lei Gong wiped his knife and said without lifting his head. "No, I don't lack people here. You can give me that Ye Qing, and it's reasonable for the sniper to return to the artillery platoon." Wu Qianli leaned closer to Lei Gong's ear, preventing others from whispering. "His name is Wu Wanli." Lei Gong was taken aback. Looking at Wu Wanli's dissatisfied expression, his eyes were filled with shock. "You teach him?" Wu Qianli's tone is sincere. "This battle is about to start. How did you teach me, how did you teach him?" "Just teach him how to survive, brother." "Brother," Lei Gong's emotions are extremely complex. Now it's ready. The 3 brothers of the Lao Wu family have all joined the army. Follow platoon leader Lei, Ye Qing, and Yu Congrong, and don't make any fuss between you 2. Yu Congrong shrugged helplessly and jumped back to his shop, knocking on melon seeds while traveling a large distance of 50,000 miles. He was wondering how to find an excuse to try this kid. "What are you looking at?" Wu Wanli looked at Yu Congrong in disbelief. This made Yu Congrong laugh and he said, "Big girl, are you still afraid to watch?" Surrounded by constant laughter. "Why join the army? Lei Gong leaned against Yu Congrong's bed and asked. In order to make my brother look up to me. Wu Wanli still had that expression. What is this? In order to make your brother look up to you. You have to make the enemy look up to you, that's what makes you tough. Okay, when I joined the army with those two brothers, I had the same moral character. I guess it's also an axis. Lei Gong turned around a bit speechless, ready to get busy with his own affairs. When will you shoot me? Looking at everyone with guns in Wu Wanli, Yi Gu, who joined the team with him, also had his own gun, I felt a little itchy. If you want to grab it, go to the battlefield and surrender it yourself. Lei Gong's tone was calm, and his serious gaze indicated that he was not joking. Yu Congrong followed with a roar. Isn't it? Just like when we were about to grab Ye Qing's sniper rifle, if we grab it, it's ours. The soldiers around laughed and shouted yes. These words instantly awakened 50,000 miles. You just snatched Ye Ji's gun, and there's nothing wrong with me snatching your gun. Taking advantage of everyone's laughter. Wu Wanli jumped off the box and grabbed Yu Congrong's rifle with just a touch of his hand. Don't look at Yu Congrong eating under Ye Qing's hands. But because that's Ye Qing. Yu Congrong jumped off the bunk and grabbed the rifle with just one reach, throwing it to Pingyi behind him. Pingyi, take it. After speaking, Yu Congrong pinched Wu Wanli's neck and pushed him several steps before finally letting him go. Wu Wanli is not the one who is at a disadvantage. Shaking off his shoulder bag, he rushed towards Yu Congrong. The naive Wu Wanli couldn't find any room for flexibility in military service, and in no time, he was fooled around. Finally, he was pushed down to the ground by Yu Congrong. Wu Wanli, who was mocked by the soldiers around him, was about to pick up the knife that Lei Gong had placed on the ground. Don't copy, guys. The person who lost it will earn it back. Lei Gong inserted his arm and looked down at the red-eyed Wu Wanli from a high position. Let me introduce myself. My name is Yu Congrong, and there is a platoon leader in the 7th row. When others charge, there are enemies in front, while when I charge, there are enemies in front, back, left, and right. Let me introduce you again. This is the platoon leader of the artillery platoon. Your elder brother and your second brother are all soldiers brought out by him. Wu Wanli looked at Ye Qing, who was indifferent. Brother Yi. Ye Qing didn't even look and said coldly. The first way to make people look up to you is to learn not to ask others. Yu Congrong smiled and pointed to Ye Qing. What Ye Qing said is not wrong. If you want to save face, you have to earn it yourself, or else just like I did just now, you will know how to compromise. Remember, in the 7th Company, he was Lei's father and Lei Gong. This statement once again ignited the pride of 50,000 miles and led to another attack on Yu Congrong. He didn't wait, someone behind him hugged him. Let me introduce another one to you. Your name is Pingyi, the sharpshooter behind you, but Ye Qing is a sniper, so the name of the sharpshooter may need to be changed. The soldiers giggled and watched the excitement. Wu Qianli and Meisheng in the inner private room opened the door together. The carriage instantly quieted down. Standing at attention. What does it look like? This is not the 7 Company I know. I thought I walked in the wrong carriage. Meisheng scolded. Lei Gong stood up and said good things. I asked Yu Congrong to give the new recruits a try. Seeing Wu Qianli feels like a child who has been wronged. Brother, they bully me. Bullying you, are you fighting back? Every time the 7th Company encounters an enemy on the battlefield, they are several times more numerous than us. Go tell the enemy, are you many people? Wu Qianli walked up to Wu Wanli and adjusted his entire military hat. Glancing at the calm Ye Qing again. The ceremony for Wu Wanli and Ye Qing to join the alliance is now being held. All 7 companies stand at attention. On the table piled up with ammunition boxes, there were 2 long guns and 4 hand grenades. This is Ye Qing's second joining ceremony. But compared to the first time. This time, for some reason, he was even more excited. Yu Congrong, you are an old comrade. Tell Wuwanli and Wubeli Company commander how they sacrificed themselves. Arrive. Yu Congrong responded loudly. In the Huai River, we took the initiative to go out with a small number of troops. After capturing the enemy's bunker group, we collapsed to cover our comrades. After the platoon leader fell, what did 7th Company do? Meisheng asked again. The 7th Interception Company annihilated and captured prisoners, surpassing my own enemy force by 6 times. It claimed to be able to block our army's underground bunker group for a year, but it blocked our 7th Company for half a day. As the words fell, the entire company of soldiers proudly raised their chests. Lei Gong also spoke in a deep voice. The enemy's rear is the front of our company, and the 7th Company exchanged their own heavy casualties for our army's small casualties. Mason. Casualties are not worth boasting about. Hold on, that's everything. 50,000 miles, you are the 677th soldier of the 7th Company, and Ye Qing, you are the 678th soldier. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. 7 arrived at the border, change cotton clothes. You are listening at novelfull.audio. 7 arrived at the border, change cotton clothes, you too would definitely say, where are there so many people? Isn't there only about 100 people in this carriage? Walking 5,000 miles past the soldiers. We are bringing together the entire family of soldiers who have sacrificed their lives, been injured and discharged since the establishment of the 7th Company. Meisheng straightened her chest. I am the 7th Interlude Company, the 135th warrior, Meisheng. Yu Congrong. I am the 221st, Yu Congrong. 280th place, Pingyi. The 35th warrior, He Changgui. Wu Qianli turned his head and looked at Ye Qing and Wu Wanli with a burning gaze. 162nd, 5,000 miles, 161st, 500 miles. The 17th warrior, Lei Suisheng. Lei Gong's dull voice rang out. Before Wu Wanli could come to his senses, Ye Qing straightened her chest and shouted loudly. 668th warrior, Ye Qing. At this moment, Ye Qing seemed to have returned to the Steel 7th Company, back to the day when he was sworn into the company. That day, Ye Qing was the 568th soldier of the Steel 7th Company. Ye Qing remembers very clearly. Ye Qing shouted eagerly, with even warm eyes. Everyone looked at Ye Qing with a sincere welcome smile. This is the 7th interwoven ritual, exclusive to them. At this moment, all the soldiers can feel it. Ye Qing is their 7th interlaced warrior, a brother, and a comrade in arms. And you? Wu Qianli looked towards Wu Wanli. I'll say it again. Meisheng wanted to explain to the young Wu Wanli again, but he didn't expect Wu Wanli to interrupt him directly. No need to say it again, even if the veterans don't accept you, you only know on the battlefield whether they will accept you or not. An egg is pried open from outside and designated to be eaten. But you have to peck it open from inside. Maybe it's an eagle. Wu Qianli ignored Wu Wanli's angry gaze and immediately ordered. I hereby announce that there has been an organized and undisciplined brawl within 50,000 miles, and the originally scheduled gun ceremony has been cancelled and disbanded. Wu Wanli was furious and roared loudly. I'm not doing it anymore. You didn't want me to join the army from the beginning. Alright, let me go. Wu Wanli turned around and was about to pull open the door latch of the carriage. At this moment, 2 trains are intersecting, and the strong airflow is pulling down the train from 50,000 miles. Thousands of miles. Let out a loud roar from 5,000 miles. Ye Qing has been standing by Wu Wanli's side, just to prevent this moment. As Wu Wanli was about to fall, Ye Qing's strong hand grabbed his neck and pulled him back with one force. No matter how hard 50,000 miles struggle, it will be of no use. Let go of me, I won't do it anymore, let go of me. Wu Wanli is still roaring angrily. But at this moment, the trains crossed and under the sunset, the Great Wall and the mountains and rivers of our motherland appeared before everyone's eyes. Wu Wanli has become quiet. Everyone is quiet now. Looking at the beautiful scenery under the sunset, everyone was amazed. Wanli, what we need to guard when entering the court is this beautiful mountain and river. Look, it's so beautiful. Ye Qing was also immersed in it. 7 soldiers gathered in front of the carriage door, quietly enjoying the stunning scenery of mountains and rivers. I'll punish you by standing here until dawn. Wu Qianli said quietly. By the way, Wu Qianli raised his hand and hammered Ye Qing's chest. Thank you, brother. At this moment, mechanical sounds echoed in Ye Qing's mind. Task completed. Successfully joined the 7th Interleaving Company and became the 668th Warrior, rewarded with 50 12.7 mm bullets and 1 attribute point. At night, Wu Qianli took out a notebook in the carriage and wrote crookedly. 667, 50,000 miles. 668, Ye Qing. And standing for a night, Wu Wanli woke up Lei Gong from his sleep. What are you doing? Lei Gong had an angry expression on his face, and he knew what this kid was up to. 50,000 miles spread their hands. Bullets. Get lost. You didn't fire my bullets. Ye Qing was also awakened by the sound of the 2 people talking, and turned over to look at Lei Gong in the opposite shop. Looking at Wu Wanli's stubborn appearance. Lei Gong knows. If we stick to this kid's routine, I'm afraid we won't be able to sleep well tonight. Touch out a bag next to it. Lei Gong counted more than 10 eggshells and gave them all to 50,000 li. 50,000 miles is like a treasure. Holding it in my palm, I looked back and forth, and suddenly realized that there were no bullets. Where's the boss? Lei Gong glanced at Ye Qing and gestured, I'll give it to you once the leader enters the court. Ye Qing almost couldn't hold back. Lei Gong is really capable of fooling children, he never gets tired of it. After sending away 50,000 miles. Lei Gong made a hiss gesture towards Ye Qing, who almost couldn't hold back. After giving Lei Gong a thumbs up, he turned around and continued to sleep. This train has been running for several days. On the way, Ye Qing became familiar with the soldiers of the 7th Company. The majority of the 9th Corps are southern soldiers, getting closer and closer to the north, shivering with cold. Their final destination now is the soon-to-arrive border Jian station. They need to change their cotton military uniforms here. And supplementary provisions. This is also the last supply before entering the court. Due to Qilian not grabbing the cotton jacket at the front station, Wu Qianli had already taken his people to find the station master. An instructor Meisheng submitted his hat badge and chest badge. Ye Qing remembers clearly. Here, American planes will conduct a bombing. If I remember correctly. There should only be one. Ding, release a new mission. Destroy U.S. military aircraft, complete the mission with a reward of beyond visual range eagle eye and 1 free attribute point. Do you accept a Qingming outing and happy reading? Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. 8-1 shot exploded a U.S. military aircraft. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. 8-1 shot exploded a U.S. military aircraft, except, Ye Qing didn't even think about it and immediately accepted the system task. At this time, the U.S. military fighter jets were generally F.86 fighter jets, F-2H Ferry fighter jets, or F.51 Mustang fighter jets, all single-seat jet fighters. There are also a small number of twin-seat jet fighters. Different from modern fighter jets. Due to the lack of advanced technology at this time, both strafing and precision bombing required descending altitude or diving shooting. And reconnaissance aircraft have a much lower flight altitude than fighter jets. Moreover, due to the lack of anti-aircraft weapons by the volunteer army, the arrogant American pilots will not climb too high, only a few hundred meters above the ground. After accepting the task, Ye Qing ran towards a watchtower holding a sniper rifle. "Hey, hey, don't go over there." Just as Ye Qing was running with his sniper rifle in his arms, a female soldier wearing a red scarf stopped him. But Ye Qing did not pay attention to the female warrior with a red scarf. "Why are you like this? The US military just bombed over there, and it's easy to have a second explosion. Come back quickly." The female warrior is extremely anxious. It can be seen that Ye Qing ignored herself and turned around to find the webmaster. "I heard it's really cold over there in the river." Wu Qianli, accompanied by several soldiers, gathered around the one-armed station master. The one-armed webmaster glanced at the single uniforms of several people from 5,000 miles, feeling heartbroken. "Why don't you just leave Shenzhen's side to change into cotton clothes?" Wu Qianli was so cold that he rubbed his hands. "It's not enough, can't we come to you? Please be kind and give me over 100 sets." The webmaster waved and walked towards the cotton military uniform storage area with the people of the 7th Company. On the other end, Meisheng, who has already submitted all his hat badges and shoulder badges, has also received a new task. The higher authorities have instructed that your 7th Company will escort 20 radio stations into North Korea and be on standby thereafter. Ensure completion of tasks. Meisheng understands the importance of radio for the Korean battlefield. Immediately distribute the radio stations evenly to each platoon and class. Station master, it's not good. A soldier is heading towards the bombing ruins. The female soldier with a red scarf ran over panting heavily. "Why did you go?" The webmaster was aroused and quickly took off the cigarette from his mouth. "I don't know, when I was leaving, I saw that soldier carrying a particularly long gun climbing up a watchtower over there." 5,000 miles startled. "What does it look like and how long is it carrying?" The girl in red gestured, and a few people from thousands of miles instantly guessed that the person was definitely Ye Qing. But at this moment, the roar of the engine suddenly came from far to near in the sky. It's a US military plane. All the soldiers at the station looked up at the sky. Sure enough, a black shadow appeared in the sky from south to north, at a height of neither high nor low, which could not only see the ground situation but also avoid the shooting range of the volunteer army. It's a reconnaissance plane. The one-armed stationmaster could tell at a glance that it was a US reconnaissance plane. 5,000 miles startled. "Get on the bus. Hurry up. I'll go find Ye Qing, comrade." "Where do you think that person is?" said Yu Congrong, patting beside him. The female soldier with a red scarf pointed to the watchtower not far away. "Right up there, I watched him climb up with my own eyes." "Hurry up." Yu Congrong organized the soldiers to board the car quickly, it's too late. After finishing speaking, he ran towards the watchtower for 5,000 miles. On the reconnaissance plane, the blonde and blue-eyed American pilot was communicating with the communicator. Discovered a train with many volunteer soldiers about to enter the Korean territory, repeated. Wales, raise the altitude and be careful of the volunteer army's firepower. Ha ha ha, don't worry, I'm at a height of 700 meters, and their fire stick can only hit over 300 meters at most. The pilot's sarcastic remarks made the people on the radio station burst into laughter. But this pilot never expected it. Just below the watchtower, a sniper is locked onto this reconnaissance plane. Ye Qing held her breath and focused her mind. The noise and inability to run of the volunteer soldiers around him could not disturb him at all. His only eyes were the low-flying reconnaissance plane. Ye Qing has added the free attribute points from the previous task reward to the shooting accuracy. At this point, it is already 4 o'clock for elite warriors. Feeling the distance between the wind and the reconnaissance aircraft, Ye Qing adjusted the knob. Sink down and feel the rhythm of every breath and heartbeat in your body, striving to kill the enemy with one shot. Ye Qing. Ye Qing. Hurry up and get down, we're going. Wu Qianli had already seen the figure on the watchtower. He saw that Ye Qing was aiming his exaggerated sniper rifle at the sky, following the slow movement of the reconnaissance plane. Don't go crazy, we can't shoot down. We can't fire that high. Bang! A highly exaggerated gunshot suddenly exploded. Wu Qianli seemed to sense something and turned around to look at the sky. Oh my goodness! Wu Qianli unexpectedly saw an explosion in the cockpit of the reconnaissance plane, dragging long black smoke straight down towards the ground. Rumble. Within 3 seconds, a violent explosion sounded again. This shot seemed to press the stop button on the world, and everyone looked incredulously towards the direction of the reconnaissance plane crash. Someone shooted down by a U.S. reconnaissance plane. Who? Many people are looking in the direction of the gunfire just now. 2 figures were rushing towards the direction of the fire carriage, with one holding an extremely exaggerated long gun in his arms. That style, no one has seen it before. Ye Qing ran at a speed not much slower than Wu Qianli, holding a sniper rifle. At the moment when the U.S. reconnaissance plane crashed, he received clear feedback from the system that the mission had ended. Mission completed. Congratulations to the host for shooting down the U.S. military plane. Reward the Beyond Visual Range Eagle Eye with 1 free attribute point. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. 9 Red Scarf Female Warrior. You are listening at novelfull.audio. 9 Red Scarf Female Warrior. Oh my goodness, that comrade carrying a strange gun has been shot down by a U.S. reconnaissance plane. Which company is this from? It's so damn fierce, isn't it? Sharpshooter. It's so frustrating to step on a horse. I see if you guys dare to fly around. That's the 7th Interpenetrating Company with a length of 5,000 miles, it seems like the soldiers of the 7th Company. Pingy. There is a sharpshooter named Pingy in Qilian, isn't that the same person as Qilian Pingy? For a moment, the entire station was filled with cheers. The soldiers excitedly waved their arms, took off their military hats, and wildly swung towards Ye Qing and Wu Qianli. It's so refreshing. Really, he's so relieved. This group of American soldiers, relying on the lack of anti-aircraft firepower from the volunteer army, are constantly shining in the sky. Look at them now, dare you fly so low? The female warrior with a red scarf was also stunned. So originally, this soldier climbed so high to observe enemy planes. What a precise shooting technique. The one-armed stationmaster also swung his fist hard, not to mention relieving his anger. Recently, U.S. reconnaissance planes and fighter jets often come to harass, and it is unknown how many soldiers have been killed in the bombing. Damn it, it's too comfortable. Hurry up, see which carriage those 2 kids are in, and quickly throw me all the cotton military uniforms. The one-armed station master issued orders. The station logistics soldiers picked up their cotton jackets and quickly chased after the carriage that Wu Qianli and Ye Qing had run into. After cheering for a while, the soldiers rushed into the carriage. The U.S. reconnaissance planes have detected the enemy situation, and soon there will be a loss of hope, which is the U.S. bombers coming to bomb. The volunteer army must seize the time, immediately withdraw and leave this place. Otherwise, the consequences would be unimaginable. Amidst the cheers and cheers of the soldiers, the entire station instantly became chaotic, with various platoons scrambling to jump onto the already launched train. Ye Qing and Wu Qianli also jumped onto the 7th carriage together. There's no time to celebrate. Wu Qianli looked around and shouted loudly. Have you all arrived? Each row should quickly count the number of people and see if there are many fewer. Line up. 2 rows aligned. 3 rows aligned. Upon hearing that the entire team had gathered, Wu Qianli breathed a sigh of relief. Wu Qianli's solemn expression disappeared, and just as he pulled out an excited smile and wanted to say a few words to Ye Qing, a soldier suddenly spoke up and shouted. "Captain, look outside quickly." 7 soldiers all looked behind the carriage. In addition to the one-armed stationmaster desperately chasing after them, there were also many soldiers carrying big and small bags, using their strength to chase the train. Among them, the female warrior wearing a red scarf was particularly eye-catching. "Wait a moment, put on the cotton jacket." "Wait, hold on to the cotton jacket, or else you'll freeze to death if you enter the court without fighting. A bunch of southern melons and eggs, hurry up." The people behind the train were shouting and screaming loudly. Fortunately, the train has just started and the speed is not fast, otherwise it would be a pure waste of energy. Even though these people were getting closer and closer to the 7 company carriage, the 7 company soldiers who were afraid of accidents still shouted not to pursue. But fortunately, the one-armed stationmaster and others still caught up. All the big and small cotton clothes were thrown into the carriage, and the soldiers of the 7th company caught them one after another and threw them into the carriage. At this moment, the female soldier wearing a red scarf was scrutinizing inside the carriage. "It's like looking for something." When she saw the familiar figure at the end of the carriage, she took off her red scarf and ran with all her might. "My name is Su Wanyu, the announcer of Jian Station. I must come back alive." Su Wanyu didn't know why. She stared fixedly at Ye Qing, as if trying to engrave this person's face in her mind. With Su Wanyu throwing it forcefully. In Ye Qing's hand, there was an extra warm red scarf. The figure chasing the train is getting farther and farther away. Until it disappears and disappears. Oh, our sniper not only shot down the reconnaissance plane, but also took the heart of the female warrior. Yu Congrong immediately began to coax. The carriage erupted into a commotion, and everyone was truly envious of Ye Qing. "Ye Qing, you just shot down the U.S. reconnaissance plane with this guy in your hand." Meisheng walked over. Staring at the exaggerated-shaped firearm in Ye Qing's arms, Meisheng was completely bewildered. "What kind of gun is this?" With this statement from the instructor, all the soldiers around gathered together. "Look left, look right. No one can see why." "Instructor, is this a scope? It's even longer than the upper half of the rifle. The Pingyi River is not close." Although he wanted to touch it, he still tightened his rifle tightly in his arms. Lei Gong is a personal genius. I patted Pingyi's shoulder and whispered, "Are you hungry? Turn around and hit the U.S. military camp, I'll give you a try." Pingyi shook his head. Patted the rifle in his hand. "It's all the same, this thing kills the U.S. military, one shot at a time." Lei Gong grinned his lips. "Well said, I'll go change into a cotton jacket, but I'm freezing to death." This time, the soldiers of the 7th Company truly understood what a sniper is. Good guy. From a distance of 600 to 700 meters, a single shot knocked down the U.S. reconnaissance plane, more skilled than a skilled marksman. Ye Qing can also be considered to have firmly established herself in the 7th Interlaced series. It can be considered as becoming famous in World War I. "Brother, you've made great contributions, you're so damn accurate." After Wu Qianli instructed everyone to change into cotton clothes, he came to Ye Qing's side. "You have given us a good omen for the 7th Company. Instructor, please report back to your superiors and tell them that our 7th Company will intercept and destroy an enemy plane. Apply for credit to Ye Qing as well." "I was just planning to write a report, but we both thought of going together." Meisheng replied. "How many bullets do you have left, this thing?" Wu Qianli rubbed his hands, feeling a bit excited. "There are still over 40 rounds left, entering North Korea. The U.S. military should have matching ammunition, Ye Qing thought for a moment and said. Great, from now on, you can specialize in using American planes. I see if they dare to hover over me. I've been displeased with them for a long time. Taking advantage of Wu Qianli's speaking time, Yu Congrong, who had already changed his cotton clothes, rubbed over. Captain, our firepower platoon lacks a skilled marksman. Can you assign Ye Qing to our firepower platoon? Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th. 10 Ye Qing has become a fragrant cake. You are listening at novel full.audio. 10 Ye Qing has become a fragrant cake. Wu Qianli raised his eyebrows and looked at Yu Congrong in anger. Before Wu Qianli could speak, Lei Gong, who was still changing his cotton military uniform, became anxious and didn't fasten the buttons. He hurriedly leaned over. Damn it, this kid's gun has a range of 600 to 700 meters, it must be coordinated by the artillery platoon. Lei Gong, he is a sniper, not an artillery. Let's assign it to our second platoon, platoon leader. We don't have enough firepower personnel in our second platoon, is it our turn now? Yu Congrong and Lei Gong turned their heads and glared. The second platoon leader is like frost hitting an eggplant. He, you've already given me 50,000 miles, so you have to give me a good one, right? Lei Gong smiled cunningly. This Ye Qing is amazing, you have to get what you say. Yu Congrong is now anxious. Captain, our firepower platoon is using our lives to clear the way. With Ye Qing involved, casualties can definitely be greatly reduced. Lei Gong. Fuck your mother. You asked Ye Qing to charge with that sniper rifle. Aren't you using anti-aircraft guns to hit mosquitoes? Yu Congrong doesn't care. Usually, you are Lei Gong and Lei Dad. But when it comes to robbing people and equipment, even if the Emperor Laozi comes, it won't work. Roll on, Ye Qing didn't join the team and directly accepted my and the instructor's orders. Wu Qianli is a human spirit. How could Ye Qing be drawn into the row? Good steel needs to be used on the blade. Okay, Lei Gong, there's nothing we need to do. The platoon leader has left himself behind. Beating sex, carved from the same mold as Bai Li, always wanting to keep good things for oneself. Wait until no one pays attention. Wu Qianli punched Ye Qing on the chest and said, okay, I really picked up a treasure for our 7th interlude. You have the number of our 7th platoon, don't run back to the 2nd field when you turn around. At first, Wu Qianli didn't think too much. I just want to find a unit for Ye Qing to fight, and when I turn around, I will encounter the 2nd Field Army and send them back. Now, Wu Qianli is not prepared to be this great kind-hearted person. I haven't heard of a few snipers who can shoot reconnaissance planes in all these years, it's the first time they've made a name for themselves. Give it back to Erno. Give it a damn. From now on, Ye Qingsheng is the warrior of the 7th Interlude Company, and death is the ghost of the 7th Interlude Company. Let's have a dream in Erie. Ye Qing. Arrive. In the future, if you return to the company headquarters for direct dispatch, just follow my and the instructor's orders. Yes. Watching Wu Qianli deliberately show his company leader's demeanor, Ye Qing couldn't help but laugh and cry. The news of the 7th Sniper Unit shooting down a U.S. reconnaissance plane at Jian Station quickly spread to various carriages. The entire 9th Corps was just fried. What is it? Is there a soldier in the 7th Interlude who used a rifle to bring down the reconnaissance plane? What are you joking about? Reconnaissance planes can fly at least 600 to 700 meters high, and the optimal range for rifles is at most 200 to 300 meters. They are reconnaissance planes that can shoot ghosts. Even if it were hit, the bullet would have been weak for a long time. Not to mention exploding reconnaissance planes. What if the bullet in that rifle is a tank smoothbore gun? However, This kind of rumor also became more and more exaggerated, and in the end, it turned out that someone used bazooka to shoot down reconnaissance planes in the 7th interlude. But this version still has a relatively high level of credibility. After all, bazooka is the strongest firepower equipment of the volunteer infantry. But no matter what, the shooting down of a U.S. reconnaissance plane was witnessed by most soldiers, and it is certain that the 7th interlude shot down a U.S. reconnaissance plane. Just how to shoot it down, the more it spreads, the more magical it becomes. The 7th interlude company itself specializes in arduous tasks, and this time it needs to escort the radio station, which can be considered even more difficult. We're about to cross the border bridge. Meisheng looked out the window and found that the train was already running on the border bridge. Let's assign a task. It's very difficult to communicate on the front line now, and it's too dangerous to gather 20 radio stations and interpreters together. Wu Qianli said in a deep voice. If you encounter an ambush, bring some good hands to cover the radio station and interpreters breakout, and I will implicate the enemy. Meisheng spoke up and directly blocked the most dangerous task. No way. I'm the platoon leader, no matter what the situation is, I have to sit in the control platoon. Wu Qianli directly rejected Meisheng's proposal. I'm still a counselor. Have you ever seen a company that fights without a counselor? The two of them will not compromise with each other. Wu Qianli and Meisheng both know each other well. If you really encounter an ambush or encirclement from the U.S. military, sitting in a platoon is the most dangerous. But the 20 radio stations and translators are of great significance. It really counts. These things are more important than all over 100 people in a row. As the platoon leader and instructor of the 7th Interlude Company, they must have complete preparation measures before this situation arises. Wu Qianli and Meisheng both understand each other's personalities. Relying hard is definitely not enough to come up with an answer. Lei Gong, let's leave it to him as an old warrior. It's the safest option. Meisheng proposed. Looking at the entire company, in that situation, the most reliable one is Lei Gong. Wu Qianli looked at the carriage. The first glance fell on Lei Gong, who was talking to Wu Wanli, but the second glance fell on Ye Qing, who was wiping his sniper rifle. What do you think of Ye Qing? Meisheng leaned towards the car door and looked at the figure. That's a good idea. This person is calm, has independent judgment ability, and the key sniper's eyesight is even stronger than ordinary people. The two of them also reached a consensus. Although Ye Qing has just joined the company, he cannot be considered a newcomer. After all, according to Ye Qing's own words, he has been in the army for at least 3 or 4 years, and has also fought many battles against bandits, so he should be considered a veteran. Being able to survive alone for so long must be due to extraordinary means. Survival ability, perhaps even stronger than Lei Gong. The train carrying the 9th Army Group has been advancing all the way and has unknowingly entered the territory of North Korea. It hasn't been long since we entered the territory of Korea. The running train suddenly began to slow down until it came to a stop. Soldiers from various carriages opened the carriage doors one after another to see what had happened. A soldier ran towards the rear of the car from the front, shouting while running. Repair the railway tracks ahead and rest in place for 30 minutes. P.S. Chapter 10 on the first day, please add more chapters later. Dear readers and fathers, please support the data of flowers and evaluation tickets within your ability range. Kneel down and beg. Qingming outing and happy reading. Charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. Immediate recharge, activity period. April 4th to April 6th.